Hey, happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to LinkedIn Life Live. I'm Bill McCormick, joined here with the rest of the tremendous, fantastic Social Sales Link team, Bryn Tillman, Sally Jo Lamont, and Bob Woods. And today we're going to be talking about curating content for LinkedIn. So what does that mean? There's two ways to do content. You can create content, but then you can also curate content. What's the difference? The difference is found in the word curate, which the definition is scrolling there along the bottom. Curate something means to collect, select, and present information. So in this case, posts for LinkedIn information, such as pictures, videos, and music for people to use or enjoy. And here's the kicker: using your professional or expert knowledge. What we want to do is talk to you today about finding content that you can use, but making sure that you put in your professional or your expert knowledge to it so that you're being seen as the thought leader. So the first way we're going to talk about doing this, I'm going to talk about, which is right on LinkedIn, is you can use hashtags to curate content. Did you know that you could go right up to the search bar and put in a hashtag and search for content that uses that hashtag? So for example, we're LinkedIn trainers, and what we want to do is look for content that our prospective buyers are looking for reading and consuming. And that's the first real big key tip for you, is you don't want to look for content just that you want to share. You want to find content that your prospects are consuming, that are answering the questions that your prospects are answering. So for us, we sell to VPs of sales and marketing and other folks that are looking, that have sales teams that want to do certain things with those sales teams. And one of those things is to increase sales. And so one of the things we can look at is, for example, hashtag sales training, right? Because that's what our prospective clients are looking at. So right up in the search bar, I put hashtag sales training. It brings up all the posts that have used those hashtags. I can then look through those posts and look for content to curate. So what I'm going to do is grab the post, grab the content. I'm going to read the content and I'm going to make sure I agree with it. And I'm going to grab some information from that and put that into a post with my own thoughts, my own feelings, right? So that I'm showing my professional knowledge and expert opinion so that people see me as a thought leader. So that's one way to curate content right on LinkedIn, but there are also other places on the World Wide Web where you can curate content. And Bob's going to tell you about one of those now.
Yeah, World Wide Web is definitely worldwide. And one of the things that are the big thing that I'm going to talk about is something that you may or may not have heard of, Google Alerts. So Google Alerts are a great way to have the content you are specifically looking to share delivered straight to your email box. And I say specifically because it's you who sets up exactly what you want to see. So to use them, you'll go into Google Alerts and use keywords and key phrases to set up your alerts. You could then tell Google Alerts all sorts of different things based on what you want to see. So how often you want them sent to you, what region of the world you want to search, if you want to search just news sites or news sites, video sites, and there's a couple of other things there, and so on. You can have up to 1,000 alerts. So don't worry about running out of after 5 or 10 or whatever. Yeah, exactly. And I wouldn't go, I say go crazy, but don't go too crazy with them. So Google Alerts are a great way to have Google do the searching work for you when it comes to content. You can always fine tune those alerts as well. If you're starting to get in way too many things that aren't relevant, go back in and really make them razor sharp. Now to start setting it up, all you have to do is, well, Google Alerts Setup. A Google help page on alerts should be the first result. Just click into that and go from there. The instructions are pretty easy and pretty clear. And best of all, it's free. You gotta like that. So there's also a free content curation aid out there that can even incorporate Google Alerts into their already really, really broad offerings, which makes it even more powerful. It's called Feedly. I've used Feedly for years. I know everyone here uses Feedly. We teach Feedly. It's a great tool. And I believe Sally Jo has more on that. Sally Jo?
I do. So if you are hungry for content, you may want to check out Feedly. It is a really fabulous tool. It aggregates. There's a good one. It doesn't aggravate, it aggregates and compiles a news feed that you select, the topics, even the websites that you want to follow. So what does this mean? It means that you can quickly go in, look for content that, again, I'm going to say what Bill said and what Bob said, content that is important to your prospects and clients, because that's what you really want to share and read, because you want to know what's important. You want to be able to share what's important to them to add value to them. And it allows you to gather all this information in one place about the topics that are important to your prospects and clients, and allows you to share them. So you can share them in email, you can share them across multiple social media avenues. And again, what does it do? It keeps you in the know, which is critical, right? You want to know what's going on in their world and what challenges they're facing and how things are changing. It keeps them in the know, so you're educating them about maybe topics that they might have missed that might be important to them, and you're also adding value all across the board because you're sharing it. And I suggest that you can also add additional your insights as well, maybe what you picked out of that article that might be most significant to them. There's other ways to also curate content, and one of the ways is to look at the other influencers in your market. And I'm tossing the ball to Britt.
Thanks, Sally Jo. Before I talk about influencers, I love what you guys are talking about finding other content. And I just want to kind of elaborate a little bit on the content that we're looking for, right? We tend, as business development and salespeople, to want to share all these things, but we have to step back and say, forget what we want to share. What is it they want to consume? And so what we're doing with Feedly and Google Alerts and hashtags is we're curating content that our buyers are already interested in, right? Because if we can do that, if we can find content where we've got lots of buyers engaging already, we know more buyers like them are going to want to engage. And that's where the influencer comes in, right? So let's go out and find the top influencers that are magnets for your buyers. Who is already attracting them? Who's sharing content that has all of your buyers engaging? First of all, that content is awesome to reshare, because that content is attracting your ideal prospects. Also, just like everyone else said, add your own 2 cents to that. Make sure you're not just sharing and leaving, but you talk about why, or what was your favorite line from that article? What inspired you beyond that your prospects are engaging on it? What inspired you to share that piece? And why do you think they're investing the 3 to 5 minutes to read that or watch that video is worth their time? Really important. Bonus note, right? We always talk about everything we do is about starting more sales conversations. So now we've got, I look at that author or that poster as the keynote to an event. And all of these people that are commenting, they're participants. They've bought a ticket to come listen to this keynote speak. And they're all talking about that topic. So absolutely curate and share. This is an opportunity also to start conversations with these potential buyers. But we want to make sure that we're not jumping in and pitching. We want to make sure that the conversation we're starting with is what they care about, which is the topic they're engaging on. Yeah. So when you start, maybe I'll say, hey, did you see that great post by Shari Levitin? It was unbelievable. Or actually, let's rewind that. I noticed you engaged on that post by Shari Levitin. Have you had the opportunity to listen to her podcast that she was on X, Y, and Z? Oh, no. Well, if you're interested, I'd be happy to send you a link. We are now talking about the keynote. who it is that we're engaging with. So we want to start a conversation just like we would if we were in a physical networking meeting. We would not walk into the circle of people, pop our head in and say, hey, I help businesses like you do X, Y, and Z. We would listen to what they're talking about and engage naturally. So guys, curate and share content and engage with always the perspective of starting more conversations.
That's fantastic. So listen, as we wrap up today, we want to remember, you want to check hashtags. You want to fill out Google Alerts, set up your Google Alerts. You want to use Feedly, and you want to go and look for influencers. Easy for me to say. So that's your homework for this week as we're wrapping up. And remember, we don't teach sales pitching. We teach sales social selling. And the difference is sales pitching is just throwing stuff out there. Social selling is building relationships, providing real value, and being a resource, and understanding the sales will come when the time is right. So thanks so much for joining us for LinkedIn Life Live. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next Monday. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.